Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. In terms of the teams, there aren't ad hoc teams. There are teams across the board dealing with different matters. However, what you can do is take people from different teams to constitute a team to deal with a specific matter. At the moment, they are specific teams based solely on the many matters we had received from the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, the Party Commission, the Nugent Commission. And so once a team became vested with a matter, all other matters related thereto invariably went to that team. All prosecutors have the power to institute and conduct criminal proceedings for and on behalf of the state. And so those powers find themselves in Section 20 of the NPA Act. And prosecutors are then so delegated to conduct, institute prosecutions and matters incidental thereto, Chair, as a result of them being prosecutors within the NPA. In terms of the investigative powers, the powers are derived from Sections 29 of the NPA Act, the NPA Amendment Act, which allows for the investigating director (29A)(1), an investigator may, subject to
just a correction. Apologies. It's not of the Amendment Act. That's been inserted
into the main Act.
Into the main Act. So
Correct.
it's Section 29, uppercase A of the NPA Act, not of the Amendment Act.
As you've correctly pointed out. But what it does do is then give investigators powers to deal with aspects of investigation subject to the control and direction of the head of the investigating directorate. And so they exercise such powers and must perform such duties as are conferred or imposed upon him or her under the Act and or any other law, and must obey all lawful directions which he or she may receive from a person having authority to give such directions. And an investigator under subsection 2 has the same powers as a peace officer or a police official as provided for in the Criminal Procedure Act. And they therefore, in terms of that section, have the power to investigate offenses, the ascertainment of bodily features of an accused, powers of entry and search of premises, the seizure and disposal of articles, arrests, the execution of warrants, the attendance of an accused person in court, and the service or execution of any subpoena or summons. And 3, an investigator has the same powers as if he or she had been appointed deputy sheriff or deputy messenger or other similar officer of the court. So they do derive their functions from the legislation and are therefore delegated to exercise prosecutions for prosecutors, investigations with the investigators.
What we see from sub 1 is investigators exercise their powers subject to your control and direction. They're not free agents who go about making decisions, determining what to do in a manner or in circumstances where you have no say over what they do and how they exercise their powers. It's subject to your control and direction.
That is correct.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Balwe. Thank you, Advocate Johnson. While we are on this topic of teams, in the investigation conducted by IDEC, that culminated in the arrest of General Kumalo and others. Just so we can bed this one. What was the constitution of the team? Which team was responsible for that investigation and subsequent prosecution? And are you able to name the key members of that team, be they investigators or prosecutors? We learn, at least from Colonel Padiachi, that he was the lead investigator. So if you could assist us in populating the rest of the team and to indicate who was the leader of that team. I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
So when the matter had initially come to IDAC, the matter was allocated to we chose a group of prosecutors that fell under the leadership, or the prosecutor was Advocate Ramsamy and Advocate Joy Hlachwayo. And it was
between the two, who was the lead?
When the matter first started, Chair, it was Advocate Ramsamy who led, and as the matters progressed, each one of them led a matter so that they were able to carry the burden of that matter. So Advocate Joy Hlachwayo is the one who went to court on the Mokwele matter. Advocate Ramsamy would have been the one who went to court on the first matter, which was with General Lushaba and others. But they would go to court together, and either or having to deal with the matter as they dealt with it. And then, Chair, we had Chief Perumal, Mr. Belochin.
Sorry. When you mention a name, please indicate what role they played. So Chief Perumal played what role?
If you'd just grant me a moment just to get my paper, Chair, so that I'm able to guide properly. Mr. Perumal is a chief investigator and would have helped lead and coordinate the team of investigators, obviously under the leadership and guide of the prosecutors. We had Mr. Rapesu, who is also an investigator. We had Mr. Padiachi as an investigator. We had Mr. Vessels as the chief financial investigator. We had...
And between Mr. Rapeso and Colonel Padiachi was on the Mokwele matter, and Mr. Rapeso was on the Lushaba matter, or not?
That is correct.
All right.
When they started, yes.
Okay.
But
right.
that allocation gets determined amongst themselves on who would lead which, but you designate the team to the investigation.
No, I just want to get the facts. Want to get the facts. Yes.
Sorry, and then we had Mr. Patem Lambu as an investigator. And in all the matters, we do have a project manager. And in this instance, the project manager was Mr. Tlale. There was a deputy director as well.
Sorry, apologies, Advocate Johnson. Did you say Tlale?
Tlale, T-L-A-L-E, Mr. Tlale.
Absolutely.
And what role did is it Miss or Mr. Mlambo?
Mr. Mlambo is an investigator.
No, I heard that is but what I want to know is, basically, as I understand it, there's the Lushaba matter, there's the Mokwele matter, and I asked you whether between Mr. Rapeso and Colonel Perumal, one was investigating one of the two matters, and you said yes. So I want to know about Mr. Mlambo. Where did he fit in?
Mr. Mlambo, as part of that team, would have dealt with whatever taskings they gave him, not necessarily only Lushaba and or only the Mokwele matter.
Thank you.
The team would have determined the taskings and who was best to deal with that investigative task.
Thank you. That answers me. Thank you. Any other role play?
There was Advocate Manilal, who's
Did
sorry,
you
Chair,
explain about Ms. or Mr. Tlale?
project manager.
Project manager. Okay.
And-
You have quite a structure there. And
We
then
will
who else after?
And Mr. Manilal, who is, as I indicated yesterday, Chair, all the teams are led by deputy directors of public prosecutions,
Yeah.
and that would have been Mr. Manilal. At a stage when the matters first started, because Mr. Manilal was busy in court, I think with the Transnet matter, on a informal basis, we did have Advocate Peter Sarunye, who would accompany the prosecutors to court, so that if there was anything, he was able to engage the office and to indicate if there were any challenges. But
Is he also DPP?
He's a DDPP, yes, ma'am.
I just want to understand this. I've always understood DPPs to be attached to, not necessarily part of, but let me loosely say attached to a particular court. Like, for example, you would have a DPP for the Gauteng, in the sense of Pretoria High Court, then another one in Joburg, another one in Tata, and so on and so on. So when you talk about a DPP in this context, are you...
Sorry, DDPP, Deputy Director.
Also,
sir.
they are DPP. So Mr.
Manila is a Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions. Yes, sir.
Deputy. Now I understand. Thank you. I did not hear the deputy. Sorry.
When you started, you mentioned the name of Belochan. You haven't mentioned him as you're listing now, the specific list. Is there a reason for that?
I just want to check, Chair. I might have misspoke. I want to see the document in terms of the later. No, my apologies, Chair. I misspoke. He's not in in these matters.
Thank
My
you.
apologies. He's in the Matlala matter.
Thank you.
Is that the makeup of the team?
That is the makeup of the team.
I think
The
I
time.
think the mention of Mr. Beluchan, I forget the rank, was in your affidavit. Am I mistaken? Was it not in your affidavit? Where did I see it? Where would we have seen it? You don't remember? Oh, no, please look, please look. I'm asking because...
The mention, Chair, is because he was the person who had gone to Otia to inform General Kumalo that there was a warrant of arrest.
Oh, that was the context.
That was the
That was
context.
the context. In your affidavit?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
But that he would have gone there must mean he was part of the team in some capacity.
So when they execute arrests and or search and seizures, different people can form part of the execution teams. They must be put onto the application for the warrant of arrest or for the search warrant. It is there that he comes into play. There were other people as well that were involved that are not involved in the investigation. You can become for that specific purpose. Chair, I just wanted to indicate, if you'd allow me, the names that I gave you were the names of the team shortly after we had received the Section 27 referral and we had the preliminary investigation authorized. As the investigation progressed and just before the arrests, there was an application for a Section 28(1) full investigation in terms of the NPA Act. I would just like to check if other names were subsequently added so that the Commission has the full ambit of who all, other than these, were then involved in the matter.
Oh, please go
Yes,
ahead.
there are persons that then became, I had mentioned, chairs, that it was Advocate Manilal, I mentioned Advocate Ramsamy, I mentioned Advocate Joy Hlachwayo, I mentioned Chief Investigator Perumal, Investigator Belochin, Chief Financial Investigator Venant Wessels, Investigator P. Mlambo, and then we have Investigator Charles Eales, E-A-L-S, and Investigator Ayanda Mbalo. They came in later into the team.
Sorry, now I'm confused. So Belochin did become part of the investigation team. He didn't just go to the airport to inform General Kumalo that there is a warrant for his arrest.
No, he did not become part of this investigation team. He's not of the people
But you've
designated
just included him in the post-Section 28(1) process. You say there was a Section 28(1) application for preliminary investigation. You
Yes.
say that. And then you proceeded to list who, arising from that, became part of the team. And you say Eales, you say Ayanda, and then you said Belochan.
No, it's Charles Eales and Ayanda Mbalo.
You just
Did I? Apologies, I think
unless you want to exclude him, you did mention him.
My apologies, it is on my document that it is Manilal, Ramsamy, Hlachwayo, Perumal, Padiache, Wessels, Mr. Mlambo, Mr. Eales, and Mr. Mbalo.
But you seemed to be reading. You were looking down and you seemed to be reading.
I'm
Surely,
I'm prepared to show this through council
okay,
to.
okay.
Yes, that.
How did you vocalize the name then? Looking down as if you were reading it from a list. How did you come to vocalize the name?
I don't know why I said his name.
Okay, all
Sorry.
right. No, it's okay. It's okay.
The section of your affidavit, Chair, was referring to, good morning, Advocate Johnson.
Good
It's
morning.
paragraph 13 of the original affidavit, where you list Messrs. Sunil Belochan and Ayanda Mbalo as the investigators.
As the investigators who went to the airport and would have been authorized in terms of the warrant for execution.
But why do you
that is
call them
how-
investigators if all they are doing is execute the warrant?
Because that is their designation, Chair.
But their role is that of investigators,
Yes.
their normal role.
Yes, investigators executing a warrant of arrest.
Okay.
Thank you. I think from yesterday.
Sorry, before you go
Absolutely,
on,
Chair.
before I just, you'll remember yesterday when I even expressed myself in Afrikaans saying that,
Ek is deur mekaar.
klaar deur mekaar. When you responded to me about whether or on whether Colonel Padiache had ever had sight of or received the Section 27 referral affidavit, my distinct impression was that you said, yes, he did. But when immediately thereafter Commissioner Baloyi engaged you, my sense was then that you were saying the opposite. I'm not sure as I sit here what your final position is on that. I just want us to put that to bed. Did he or did he not receive that Section 27 referral affidavit?
Chair, as I undertook that I would get clarity from the team, he did have sight of the Section 27.
He was given, in the sense of being given.
He had sight of it. That's the answer I have.
You see,
So-
you may have sight, in the same way as, for example, police officers will flash their ID cards, just like that. Or you may have sight in the sense that you are given the document, you read it, you internalize its contents. So was he given that document for him to personally read and internalize its contents?
So initially, he would have had sight of it, and later in the year, when he had all the dockets.
No, explain having sight. That's what I'm interested in. What do you mean by that?
That when the team met, they engaged the 27, and he is part of that team.
No. That doesn't answer me. What do you mean when you say he had sight of it? Surely you understand the essence.
He saw the document.
Seeing as in, here's a document, it's lifted, and he does see it if it's lifted like this. But if it's immediately put back on the table, it's as good as not having been seen by him. So what do you mean by he did have sight of it?
So I'm giving you I'm giving you an explanation I get because I'm not inside of that room.
That's far you have not explained. That's why I want, what do you mean when you say he had sight of it? You have not explained it.
He saw the document.
I want to understand seeing. Is it in the sense of it being fleshed? Here's a section 27 referral affidavit, boom. It's gone back to the top of the table and he doesn't see anything. Is that what you mean by seeing? Or do you mean it was given to him for him to peruse it for himself?
He was given the document to peruse for himself, according to him and to the team, much later on.
That's all I wanted.
Much later on.
Sorry, much later?
Much later on.
At what stage was that? At what stage was that? Was this before he started investigating, or was it after he had commenced investigating? If it's the latter, that would mean his investigation was not informed by the affidavit. So you say after he had commenced?
After he had commenced.
Investigating.
That is
so
correct.
After the Section 28 investigation had commenced?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Now that answers me. And the Claude Diermekar is gone.
And apologies, but it is answers I had to seek because it's not my direct knowledge.
Yes,
so if I didn't convey it correctly, I do apologize, but it's the answer that I was given.
No. As I said yesterday, hearsay evidence is admissible in this commission. There's authority that says a commission of inquiry of this nature may inform itself in whatever manner it wishes to. The only issue, depending on the nature of the evidence, would be the probative value of such evidence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did they say exactly when? Because in your response to the chair, you said later in the year. Now that worries me because the arrests were mid-year. So if later in the year is after the arrests, that is a problem. So when you say later in the year, what do you mean? Do you mean after June or before June 2025?
It would have had to have been before June 2025 because he became the investigator earlier on, which was
in January.
In January,
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's an answer that that kind of question where you answer it would have been. You have had opportunity to ask, and you were told you saw it later on. You either did ask and were informed when later on, or you must still go back and find out when exactly did he see it, because the way you're answering, you don't have personal knowledge of it, so you have to check with other people, and we shouldn't be left with the impression that yes, he saw it before the arrest because of how you've answered. I think it's a question that you must verify and come back to us with a specific period.
I will do that, Commissioner Baloyi, with the exact answer.
Finally, do you dispute his version when he says before this commission that he did not see the Section 27 affidavit? Do you dispute his version? Do you say he's not telling the truth?
I'm unable to dispute his version because he's in that team. That is why I'm saying I have to ask the questions after the fact.
Thank you.
It's not my place to say he lied. He would have to, he explained as he did, yes.
Thank you. And thank you, Advocate Johnson.
Mr. You're still going to be discussing the Section 27 notice. I do have a question, but if it's a topic, you are still going
Section
to cover.
27 affidavit.
Affidavit.
Yes.
Okay.
We're still going to.
All right, I'll leave my question for now.
Thanks, Commissioner. You gave this it's quite a big team. You informed of, I think, Ayanda Mbalo, Charles Els. From yesterday, you keep referencing Chief Perumal. Chief is not his name, is it?
No, it is the rank. He is Dylan Perumal.
Dylan, thank you. Now, you now have, as I understand, a group of prosecutors. Well, the prosecutors, there are two, and then a group of investigators. Who leads then this entire team? Who's the leader of this particular team?
It is the Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions who leads the team. And then within the team, you will have, as you have a chief investigator who will lead the investigative part of the investigations. But the team is led by the Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions.
Okay, and in this case, that would be Mr. Manilal.
That is correct.
That
ma'am.
is the leader of this team,
Yes.
not Chief Perumal.
No.
Because I understood Colonel Padiache to refer to Chief Perumal as the leader of the team. Was he perhaps wrong in your understanding?
Not wrong. I think as an investigator, having the chief criminal investigator in the team, they look to him as the leader of the investigations. They almost invariably engage with him in terms of the taskings and the activities, reporting back and getting guidance. The everyday investigative functions would be dealt with by the chief criminal investigator or a senior investigator, as is the case in other teams as well.
So then what's the role of the leader of the team? What is Mr. Manilal's role as leader?
So Mr. Manilal's role is, because IDAC has a prosecution-led investigative methodology, they have to sit together to work out what the prosecution strategy is, what investigations must take place. They look at the resources that may be required, and so what his role is to coordinate and direct the evidence that will be, investigation that must be undertaken for the evidence to be collected and the relevant evidence that would be required. Mm-hmm. And then there's that constant to and fro as things come in, perhaps to look at the legal prescripts. Have they been met? Are there things that are outstanding? And that is the guidance, etc., within the team, both of the prosecutors and investigators.
So then in this team led by Mr. Manilal, who gets to decide whether the Section 27 referral is distributed to members of the team? Who makes that decision? Is it Mr. Manilal as the leader, or who is it?
Ordinarily, it should be the team leader, which is Mr. Manilal, but it would depend on who had the document at the time. There's no rules about who gets what and who decides who gets what. I think it's
what's the purpose of being a leader?
I see.
So sorry. You spoke at the same time.
I apologize. The error was mine. I apologize, Chair.
Apologies, Chair.
Yeah, please finish what you were saying. And
what it is you have the team leader who will decide what all must happen. So obviously, invariably, it's the team leader who should distribute all the documents. I don't know that there's a decision who to give and who not to give. It works in terms of what is required at the time and who's the person who should have access to the document. You may find that it is a prosecutorial document and not necessarily something you need to distribute at the time to everybody else. So they will work it out amongst themselves, who gets what, when. But there isn't a prescript or any rule that says or precludes anyone in the team from not having access to documents in an investigation.
Okay, let's come back to the Section 27 affidavit. Who decides between between you, Mr. Sissoko, Deputy Director Manila, Chief Investigator Perumal, of the four of you, who decides that Colonel Padayachi, as the lead investigator, will or will not have the Section 27 affidavit? Somebody makes that decision. It's not a team decision.
No, once the document is, after Mr. Sissoko and myself have gone through it and we decide falls within the mandate, we give it to the team leader.
Team leader here is, because we've got two people now. We've got Deputy Director Manila and Chief Investigator Perumal. Who is that team leader?
Is Mr. Manilal.
Mr. Manilal.
Is the team leader, yes.
So he's the one that decides whether or not the investigators, and when I say Colonel Padayachi, also Rapesu, because you say Rapesu is in the other matter. So it's Chief Manilal who decides.
Advocate Manilal, yes.
Advocate Manilal who decides whether or not the investigator should have the Section 27 affidavit. Thank you.
Thank you.